Daily sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. The atmosphere here, electric. No matter the venue, the home folks love their silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Philadelphia Eagles. And off we go from Las Vegas. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Cook on first down, but it won't net him much, maybe a yard. Second down coming up. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing Jones. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. So they give up the completion there, but defensively, Charles, you're going up against a quarterback here who's had some moments, but really a lot of ups and downs in the early part of his career. What's the plan against a guy like this?
Well, you want to rattle him first and foremost. Bring some people at him, a couple extra guys in the pocket, see if he can handle it. The second thing, you want to make him think. Show him one look, go to another, disguise a few things, make him throw into what you call your defensive traps, and try to make some good plays on the ball and get a few takeaways.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. Now Jones. Outright completes it to Jarwin. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
And that is a situation where in a defender's mind, you just have to pick a point on the football field and think to yourself, I'm going to sprint full out and meet him at that point. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but he had to play diagnosed perfectly there.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Again, he'll drop the throw. Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 15-yard line.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. Touchdown. Jonnu Smith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Eagles 7, Raiders nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. This is Saquon Barkley, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Off play action, Tannehill. Forced out to his left. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the... Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
35. All day, every day, any day. Mike 35, Mike 35.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. He'll get this out wide to Penny. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
It's a gain of 10.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off play action, Jones. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
A gain of 19.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Throwing on first down, Jones. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Second and 3 at the 19-yard line.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Oh, yeah, and here we go again.
Play action, it's Tannehill. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Tannehill on 3rd down. We'll get this out to Barkley complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Flushed out right, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Derek Rivers in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Here's Tannehill. And this one is incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told them, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Jones throw there, taken in by Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Well, it's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 33. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Tannehill now to throw. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Another try for Barkley. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Second and 2. Off the play fake. Jones. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Off play action. Jones. It's caught. Smith. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. If you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 49-yard line.
Now Cook running right. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Brought down at the 48-yard line.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Complete. Smith has it. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Now a play fake here on first down. Goes right back to Smith again. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw hauled in by Washington. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. From the gun, it's again to Cook.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Back to throw. Jones. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Jones. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the Raiders are going to have it here just past the 25. 3 first-half interceptions now. And, Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And we'll see what they opt to do with just 14 seconds remaining until intermission. Tannehill's throw here taken in by Knox. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. And with 1 second left, they get the timeout, and they'll have a chance to kick the field goal before intermission. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 33. Sanders' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Tannehill. This one complete to Scott Miller. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
That's how we do it.
Derek Rivers picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the third quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
To try again after the sack, Tannehill. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Got a man, it's Schwartz, complete. Pass the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Anthony Schwartz, 78 yards. And the Raiders move back within a couple of the lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Raiders are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw forward.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. A big play there on the catch and run.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. Touchdown, Eagles. Jonnu Smith with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off near the 44. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
Taken down by Pete Werner. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Jones. Smith with a first down and more. And down right around the 37.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Oh, now a running play here with Smith. And he stopped immediately there. In on the stop, it was Travarius Moore. 3rd quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Blake Jarwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
You got to figure down by the goal line, this is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Now that Eagle offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. Jones throwing for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. It's a big play there for Vegas.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. Open man, here's Schwartz, complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And the Eagles are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. From the 27, Jones. This to Jarwin.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing Jones. And the Raiders have got him. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up third down now. Now Jones. It's complete to Cook. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. The Eagles send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Tannehill. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
You got three down.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
29. Raiders 12.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Tannehill. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Ryan Tannehill with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Raiders have got it back to a two-score game here in the fourth. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
Good. Makes the score Eagles 49. Raiders 19.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, there are two scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 40 yards on the ground for him so far.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from knocking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Again, it's Cook. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Jones throw taken in by Jarwin. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try to fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
At the 33-yard line.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Cameron Curl. And the Raiders are right back in this football game. Now with that interception, interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. He's going to rifle one deep left side.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Tannehill. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Tannehill. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Justin Reed.
And the Eagles will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
They had to put it mildly. Look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Juan Thornhill.
And the Raiders are right back in this football game.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
They'll fake it. Now Tannehill.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. But we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. He's going to let it fly. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch.
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Anthony Schwartz.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Raiders have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand. Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Washington. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
A big play there on the catch and run. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw there taken in by Smith. 7 yards to pick up there.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Second down and 3.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And the Eagles are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Back to throw again. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable.
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed. And in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen.
And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 33. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining.
It's second down.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Another try after the first down sack. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Eagles, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions.
Meanwhile, for Las Vegas.